Hi there, I'm Andy Swindler, and this is my first live YouTube channel. Of course, this one's recorded because the whole purpose of this channel is to practice things, including how to set up a YouTube channel. So it turns out I need 24 hours to activate the live feature, but I've already worked myself up to do this, so I thought I'd go ahead and record this intro. So why are we here? Well, this channel is called Practice Makes Purpose. So my life has changed a lot in the last several years. I've gone through some very, very challenging things, but they've also been very rewarding and opened up all kinds of new possibilities. I'm sitting here in my studio after having moved from a place I lived in for 11 years, and that's very meaningful to me. I've been able to move all of my musical instruments back into one room and have the space and even freedom to be loud. So I grew up playing piano. I started when I was 7, and drums I started when I was 11. And really in the last several years, I haven't played much music. I've drummed here and there with some groups, pretty sporadically. So a big part of my life now is getting back to my roots, getting back to the things that were truly important to me. One of the things I do in the world now is I help people, particularly leaders and organizations, find and live their purpose. And part of that includes removing resistance to knowing purpose and putting our greatest gifts out into the world, which ultimately almost always seems to relate to how can one person help another person. And so this channel is a place for me to practice. One of the things I want to be doing more is sharing my truth, sharing my voice. And obviously in 2018 there are numerous ways to do that, and I'm not exactly the first to this kind of technology. But here I am. And I want to share whatever I learn along the way, and I actually want to use my drums as a way to do that. So drums for me, as a lot of my work now, is how do we embody purpose? How do we truly bring it all the way down into our body? How do we listen to our body wisdom? All of that. I didn't do a lot of that in my early life. I wasn't really into sports. I didn't really work out a lot. I was very intellectual, and even a lot of the music seemed very heady. But as I look back, playing the drum set was how I embodied. And that's what I want to do. I want to get back into that. And so this is going to be just me playing around and experimenting. And I will pause to share things that I think are interesting about what I'm doing or what I just learned in the moment, because there's that real time. That's the essence of embodiment, is what's happening exactly in this moment. And I think this is going to be a way to do that. It's going to be fun. And so this drum set had been in storage for a number of years, and so I haven't even tuned it or anything, right? And I'm doing that on purpose. So part of this is really picking up, seeing like what muscle memory is still there from when I did practice from before. What can I pick up now, and what can I bring? What are the experiences or the music I've been listening to that's going to even influence this? And I think I'll have a few where I actually do some drum tuning and look at some drum techniques, rudiments, things like that. So if you're interested in learning drums, I think this could be a place to do that too. But mostly this is just a playground for me. And if you are listening, welcome and awesome. And if you're not, well, this is for me. Here we go. that was fun for me. I hope it was for you. I want to address a couple of things I was aware of in that moment. I was aware that I was being recorded, and I feel like that made me a little self-conscious, maybe a little inhibited. So that's one of the things I want to continue practicing. That's one of the reasons to do this, so that I can get used to that. So the other thing I noticed, there was an idea that I sort of wanted to impress the audience, and that's not really the intention here. There were a couple of times I kind of made a mistake or thought, oh, what would they like to hear? And that's an interesting thing to be aware of. And the other thing I was aware of is these drums really do need to be tuned. That's hard for a lot of people to hear. It's very easy to hear a tuned instrument, like a guitar, and if that's off, it's a little more obvious. Drums, most people don't really notice, but this one's actually more in tune. And it's a little wobbly, but you can hear the tone. It's got a sharp attack. This one's way off. At least to me, it's kind of all wow. So maybe we'll do some tuning later on. That's it for now. Thanks for joining. Cheers.